What is up, Internet Land? Zekimus Prime, aka Zekimus Prime, here for the Transformers video review. Today, the figure that I'm reviewing, let me straighten this up a little bit. Today, the figure that I'm reviewing is the Transformers Studio Series Sludge. And I like this figure. It's not perfect, not by a long shot. It does need some work. Holy crap, it does. But it's really not a bad figure. I would say that it is on par with the other Dinobots that we've got at the line. This is a leader class figure, and it is nice and tall. Looks good. Paint apps all over. The sculpt is great. The design is good. The only negative thing that I would say about this figure, necessarily right off the bat, is that they have made it so that the knees and hips of this figure are just, they suck. All of them, all the way across the board. I haven't seen or heard of anybody who's got one that was done really well. I have got one that's done really well. Why? Because I took like 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all it takes, people. I opened up the legs and the waist section, and I just like shimmed the tabs with a little bit of cardstock from a piece of, you know, I don't know, from like a cereal box, I think it was, that I used. Or maybe it was a piece of cardstock from like a, I don't know, made myself Velveeta in shells, and I took one of the panels from that and sliced it up. I mean, it was super easy. It was super cheap. All you need is like a cereal box, which we've all got, and like scissors, which we should all have, and a screwdriver, which we all have. It's all it takes. So, and that really did a lot to make this a very nice figure, actually. Real quick, let me get him up next to his brothers in arms. So there he is with Swag, and there he is with Grimlock. And let's zoom this back, by which I mean manually hold the camera. I'm going to be honest with everybody. Lately I've been having some like serious doubts about the Hasbro figures, whether I really even feel like buying Hasbro figures anymore. And I'm definitely completing this set, because they're coming out with a swoop soon, and I think that, you know, given what we've seen of these other three, the swoop is going to be nice. And they have confirmed that they are coming out with a Snarl, so, which is great, because he wasn't really even in that movie. I mean, he was technically, but like only for like, I mean, literally blink if you miss it. What's the speed of a blink versus how many frames? Yeah, I don't know. It could literally be a blink and you miss it kind of a thing. But yeah, so in terms of accessories, he comes with this one gun. It is molded in this blackish gray plastic. Some nice gold paint apps on it. Holds it in his fist just nicely. This is the only one so far that doesn't come with some sort of a stupid person accessory, like the world's dumbest wheelie and the world's dumbest spike. Yeah, he doesn't come with a world's dumbest anything. One of the issues that a lot of people complain about seems to be these wings are kind of loose, and they are kind of loose. I admit, 100%, this is true. But you know, I don't see that as being the worst of problems. I mean, it would be nicer if they were not loose. If I had the means to manually install pins, I would do that. But since I don't have those means, then I don't do that. Some people complain about this part here, but it, clips in the robot mode, so that's not that big of a problem. And like I mentioned, the knees and the hips are extremely easy to tighten up. Yeah, I definitely understand people saying, oh, well, it should have been perfect to come out with. I don't know, guys. Really? I mean, this is a Hasbro product. What Hasbro product is perfect out of the gate? Hasbro is literally like a money-grabbing corporation. Like, they're not in it to make good toys for people anymore. They are in it to make money, and that's it. So I don't think that anybody should have realistically expected Hasbro to make a perfect product, or to care about if they make a product with an issue. Yeah, if you really want to, you can talk to Hasbro and they will replace something if it comes misassembled, misformed, or broken. But they don't really care. And including in that case, I know people who've been like, yeah, I had a figure and it came with a missing foot or whatnot, and then they mailed away to Hasbro, and Hasbro's like, oh, we'll replace that, and then send them a completely different figure, because Hasbro doesn't care. So yeah, nobody should have realistically expected this all to be perfect. We get third-party figures that take a little bit of work to do them nice, and some people groan about that sort of thing, which when you're paying a lot of money for a third-party figure, maybe it's a more reasonable complaint. But for a $50, lowest bidder toy, there's nothing wrong with putting in 10 minutes of work to make it look nicer, to make it work nicer. But let's talk about his articulation for just a moment. Sorry about that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. His head is on a swivel. It looks all the way around. You got a transformation joint, but this is really not for articulation. His shoulder will go as far as that wing will allow him to go. Come out for a full tree pose. He has a cut bicep joint here that goes all the way around. Double jointed elbow for most of the full run. Yeah, we'll just go with most of the full run. A decent bend. Wrist is on a swivel. And that's it. He's got a waist joint, which works just great. His hips go that far forward, go that far back. They go out for the full tree pose, or for the full Van Damme. Bicep swivel at the hip. 90-degree bend at the knee. And, of course, you will also end up hyperextending the knee at some point, I'm sure. The foot has got just a little bit of toe bend on it, mostly due to transformation, and as much rocker as you want. So articulation is even really not so bad on this figure. You probably have been noticing that this shoulder is a little stiffer. When I bend it down, it sometimes wants to make his whole chest come undone. But that's just because, again, you can't really, I don't know. Their hardware is hit and miss. Some of them are looser and some of them are stiffer. And it's just what it's like. That is just what it's like. To get this guy transformed up, we are going to start at the top. Disconnect this, and that swivels around. One of the things that I did kind of wish that I think is really cool. I really, really like all the sculpt on the inside of this chest. That is just really, really good looking. Every time I transform this figure, I think to myself, maybe I should paint that. And I haven't yet, of course, naturally, as we can see. But, get that waist transformed around. But at some point, maybe I will, and maybe it'll look super cool. Head goes down like that. Dino head comes around and tabs into these little tabs here. You can straighten up the neck at that point. You can close up. Yeah. You can close up these panels at this point. Oh, nope. Did it too soon. Before you close up these panels, this guy's been sitting here in my queue for like a month, so I haven't even transformed him in all that time. Pull the legs out and then do it. So I'm basically like feeling my way through the transformation right now. Maybe that disclosure was perhaps a little too full. But let's get these stuff out of the way. Come on, get out of the way. You know you want to. Yes. The tail is going to come back to the back. I'm doing something wrong here. There we go. Ish. Yeah, these legs need to be in a more specific position. But bring the tail all the way back. Clip that together. And then fold this part up and hang it out over the top of that. And then again with the other side, open that. And then rotate this all the way around, and then the fist gets rotated in a certain way where the back of the fist is, there's a hinge at the front, and you want to put the, yeah, you want to put the, like that. Like I said, feeling my way through it. Rotate that. Fist like so. Fold it in. And now you have a dino in his little dino mode. We'll move his legs back like so to get all the feet on the same level. Rotate the camera to really take a look at him. And I mean, I'll be damned if he doesn't look exactly like we've come to expect from Sludge. In terms of articulation, his legs wiggle a bit. These ones have got most of the functionality of their robot mode arms. So you know you've got some hinge action here, and some swivelly action here, and some swivelly action here. A little bit of forward back on that ankle there. No movement on the tail, which is fine. The neck will go down and go up. You can rotate it here. Move the head up and down. Open his mouth. There is a little port in there that I think you can put an effect piece on. I don't have any effect pieces. But yeah, it looks good. Silver paint up here. Some like gold here. Silver on parts of the back. You've got this gray stripe around here, gray stripe here, gray on all of the shoulders, gold on the head, blue on the eyes, nice little Tampo printed Autobot on the top. Big gap on the bottom. I think there's a third-party kit that makes like a thing to like hide up his toes so they don't hang out so much that they fill up that gap. I do believe that they have it so that you can take this gun. There's two little tabs here and two little slots here on his toes, and you can just kind of stow it under there. Again, not the best solution to pretty much anything, but, you know, it is a solution. But all in all, I like this figure. It does everything it's supposed to do, and it does it pretty well. You know, the articulation is fine. The detail is great. The proportions work out well. The articulation, I mentioned that already. God damn it, Zach. You know, this figure is everything it needs to be, and I think that's respectable. So, full recommendation from me. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.